Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone. Welcome to your number one source for Native American television news. It's Native News Today. I'm your host, Jason Salzman, from here in the Mvskoke Media Studios. Let's quickly get started with this week's show, as we got a lot to get to with the State of the Nation address coming up. But first, the opening. Most places have a ribbon cutting. It was a steak cutting at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, the all-new fine dining establishment in the Margaritaville Resort, River Spirit Resort Hotel, right here in Tulsa.
Ruth's Chris started over 50 years ago out of New Orleans, and that was our first state. Today, Oklahoma's our 36th state, and we're working towards getting all 50 states. But about 3 years ago, we really began looking in kind of secondary cities, and Oklahoma quickly rose to the top of the list, and so we're thrilled to be here in Oklahoma. What's attracted us to Oklahoma, both Tulsa and Oklahoma City are both strong growing cities. They're well renowned for energy, and the opportunity to partner here with the River Spirit Casino and this amazing project, that's really what attracted us to coming to Oklahoma. We've actually, we have relationships with other casinos, whether it's Harrah's Casino in Las Vegas and also New Orleans is Harrah's Casino. We have partnerships with casinos and also with tribes. So we actually have a formula with how to work with these type of arrangements, and they've been great partners, and we're really looking forward to working with them.
Ruth's Chris, I think, brings another dimension altogether to the River Spirit Casino and Resort that every business has been unique, but this one I think is most unique because it's going to attract people who may not, use any other part of our businesses here. And, with their more than 50 years experience, they know what they're doing. We were so fortunate to be able to partner with them and to have them select us as the only site in the state. We will be drawing people from Oklahoma City and parts of Kansas and elsewhere just to come here for the food, and I think that speaks volumes itself. As the hotel's been open about 3 weeks now, and the occupancy rates, especially on the weekends, have just been tremendous. All of the performances have been sold out so far, and all of the responses we've gotten from people who have been in the theater, they love it. The acoustics, I think, are it's very well designed, and so I think the quality of what we've done has been impressive. I know we've had to make some adjustments as we've gone along, but the contractors have all been willing to make changes to make sure we got a better product, and I think it's a reflection upon them as well. They wanted this to succeed because their names are also on the line as we went through the construction process. Well, I think in terms of revenue and what it will bring back in return to the tribe, I think it'll give us steady resources to the tribe for a long period of time because of the uniqueness of the property, the location. I think we're the only one of 2 casinos in the United States run by tribes that's located on a river within the city limits. So, we have very many things on the plus side of the ledger for us with this property. And I think that's going to make a long-term return for the tribe even better because of the uniqueness.
A great event there, and we want to thank them for having us up there at Ruth's Chris. It should be a great restaurant for everyone in the Tulsa area, and will really do great things for the nation. Moving on, as I said, State of the Nation was this past Saturday. The principal chief obligated in our Constitution to give a State of the Nation address at the regular council meeting in the first of every year in January. That was the case this past Saturday. We want to show that to you now here, courtesy of Mvskoke Creek Nation Public Relations Office.
This past summer, the United National Indian Tribal Youth Incorporated, or UNITY, an organization dedicated to augmenting social and mental development to contribute to a stronger Indian country, named the Mvskoke Creek Nation Youth Council as Youth Council of the Year at its 40th anniversary. Now, I'm very emotional about this, but I just want to express that we're very proud of you. Your leadership and your service in the communities, your service today as ushers. So I hope that we continue to thank you and recognize you for your hard work, and to be named the National Youth Council in your first year of existence is quite an achievement. Bravo. I'm also grateful for the strength and influence of our elders, for sustaining the spirit of our nation and keeping our traditions alive. May this coming year provide time to continue to provide you with good health as we move forward. The second chief and I hold our strongest respect for our citizens, our men and women who have worn the uniform of our armed services and sacrificed their lives to serve our country in defending our freedom, and those presently serving throughout the world. Just a few months ago, we were honored to have our tribal citizen, Corporal Philip Kuhn, World War II Bataan Death March survivor and prisoner of war, posthumously honored with induction into the Oklahoma Military Hall of Fame. His strength of survival, as well as his service in our churches and our communities, will always be remembered by those whose lives he touched. And one of those was mine. Bravo. We continue to mourn the loss of our Mvskoke citizens who passed from our presence this past year, and pray for their families that they will be comforted in their losses. May we always remember the contributions that they have made to our nation, and may their legacies serve as a continuing strength to each one of us, and that we may build upon those legacies in what we do. We must also keep in mind our great history of resilience to have guide us. Since the earliest conflicts with Europeans, our citizens had held different views and chosen different sides, but we continued to be one tribe. A mere 150 years ago, after the Civil War, we lost half of our land and were divided about how to rebuild our nation. Though there were many disagreements, we were able to come together to write a constitution that guided us for many years. At this time, we must come together again, united in strength, to confront the issues that threaten our nation. When I took office, I took an oath to uphold the Constitution and protect our sovereignty. I made a promise to you, which to the best of my abilities, I work daily to uphold. Here in our nation, working with other tribes, the state, and with the federal government. Maintaining our sovereignty and our resources will require more effort and presence in Washington, D.C. this coming year. So I'm grateful for the teamwork that I have with the second chief, members of our staff, because we will rely upon them even more this year in daunting tasks that face us. To our citizens, I ask that you please stay informed about the issues that will confront us, and let your state and federal representatives know that you expect them to honor their promises to us. As the leader of the executive branch, my commitment is to provide you an organization of structure, resources, and equipment needed to deliver the best services to our citizens, the services that they deserve. A primary focus my first year has been to implement a government-wide infrastructure of equipment and systems that are standardized and effective, while revising and improving policies and procedures that ensure our staff are compliant and accountable with all federal requirements in meeting your needs. At this time, I'd like to ask all of our employees of the nation to please stand. The second chief and I want you to know that in whatever your role is in our organization, we value your service and sacrifice to our citizens. Our responsibility is to support you in your jobs. Because of you, we have achieved great accomplishments and are positioned for many more. Thank you. I could describe a great many improvements and accomplishments in all departments, and we'd probably be here a very long time, but today I will highlight just a few that I feel are very significant and will become even more significant in our future. In regards to our culture, I believe the strength of our nation is ensuring the active practice of our culture. During 2016, the second chief and I met with traditional ceremonial ground leaders and church leaders of many faiths to understand their needs and to hear their perspectives for the future of our nation. We are grateful for their leadership in maintaining the spirituality of our citizens and dedication that they have to sustaining faith in our traditional practices at our grounds and our churches. We will continue to seek their input as we make decisions related to their concerns, and will do all we can to help them stay strong. In our finance, beginning in 2016, we immediately faced many challenges. I am happy to report that we were able to end the year with our budgets balanced and started fiscal year 17 with a budget approved by the National Council. I'm also pleased to report that the permanent fund of the nation grew to more than $319 million, an increase of almost $22 million over this time last year. The Office of the Treasury successfully merged the Department of Health Finance into its office, and now all accounting functions are handled in one location, saving duplication of positions and providing more efficiency of financial management. Through the leadership of our controller, both tribal and health fiscal year 16 books were closed. They were closed much earlier than in the past 4 years, and we have already started our annual compliance comprehensive audit. In information management, I am proud to report that this administration has made the security of our citizens' personal information a high priority. We have focused on ensuring our data systems are secure and updated with the latest technology available. We have controlled access to all of our computer systems. We have completed total encryption of our computer system and established firewalls to protect against outside intrusions. Through our information technology investments, we have now increased our cumulative bandwidth by 1,100%. With these improvements, citizens will see shorter times to fill prescription, improved phone system capability, faster medical and record entry and retrieval, all with complete system backup daily. We have switched from legacy circuits to Ethernet and will save $180,000 this year on those investments. We have also renegotiated our telephone long distance contract, which will save the nation an additional $700,000 a year. In our interior affairs, I'd like to start by saying that the restoration of our council house is underway, and when completed next year, will again serve as the centerpiece of our nation as it was in 1878. We have succeeded in obtaining congressional approval and presidential signature for transferring 18 acres of federal property into trust for our nation to add to our Fountainhead property. A second parcel of 48 acres of the Fountainhead property on Lake Eufaula is in the final step in being placed into trust by the Department of the Interior. When completed within the next few months, we will begin work with the National Council to plan for Fountainhead's economic development and bring much-needed jobs to McIntosh County, which is currently experiencing the highest unemployment rate in the state of Oklahoma. In 2016, we requested that the BIA Realty Office return to Okmulgee, and this renewed relationship has led to 7 properties totaling 132 acres being placed into trust status for our nation. So I'd like to commend our realty staff for their efforts on our behalf. And if you're here today, my big thanks to you. Job well done. Next month, we will propose to the National Council a bill to authorize a master planning process to determine the best use of all our existing properties in the Okmulgee area. The plan will guide our decisions in the future for new business opportunities, cultural programs, and employment growth for all of our citizens. Our business development has also flourished in 2016. The nation expanded business enterprises by opening the Flying T virtual golf course, increased the leasing space with long-term agreements at Riverwalk to 98% occupancy. We celebrated the openings of River Spirit's Margaritaville Casino and Restaurant, our 483-room luxury hotel, and Paradise Cove Theater. By the end of this month, all businesses within River Spirit in Tulsa, including Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and the full-service spa, will be in full operation. We also started a staffing solutions company and opened the one-stop fuel station near Glenpool. These enterprises have added more than 1,000 new job opportunities for our citizens, while contributing a projected $135 million annually into local city economies. We've reorganized and consolidated the agricultural and natural resources programs of the nation to allow for direct administration and oversight. In our farm and ranch operations, we are transitioning to the development of a Red Angus herd of cattle because of its vigor and value-added production. Recently, we acquired 400 acres of agricultural land near the Hannah farm property for additional hay harvest and cattle operations. The state of our business development is strong, and we are seeing significant opportunities throughout the nation. In 2017, we will continue to upgrade our gaming properties, initiate the design of the Fountainhead Destination Resort, and announce other significant business plans as they become more finalized. In our education programs, let me begin by talking about our Head Start children. We have been able to upgrade 3 center playgrounds to improve their safety. The Head Start program received 100% compliance for environmental health and safety by the Administration for Children and Families. For our youngest students, we were able to replace 6 out of our 12 preschool buses with 29 passenger buses that include seat belts and the latest safety features available to protect them. We will work throughout this year to seek additional monies to replace the remainder of our fleet. Under new leadership, the Eufaula dormitory was revitalized, and recruitment resulted in enrollment more than doubling from the past school year. It continues to attract new applicants. The dormitory was recognized by the Bureau of Indian Education for its commitment in providing the best residential services and academic support for the students we serve. The higher education program provided scholarships to 1,500 students for the spring 2016 semester and 1,626 students for the fall semester. I'm also proud to report that the College of the Mvskoke Nation received accreditation by the Higher Learning Commission in October. Our nation now has the first accredited tribal college in Oklahoma. Accreditation enhances transfer of all of our course credits to other colleges and universities and allows us to administer financial aid to our enrolled students. By far, the toughest challenge this past year has been in the healthcare department. At the outset of our administration, we faced many complex issues that required immediate action to address budget shortfalls while meeting patient needs. With the support and the action of the National Council, we were provided authority to restructure our financing to reduce expenses, realign program management, and reorganize staffing levels to match patient care needs. Unfortunately, this resulted in some reduction in staff. However, we have been able to accomplish our goals with dedicated healthcare professionals on the front lines and with the willingness of management to assume extra duties during this time. By year's end, we had reorganized to a more efficient manner and rehired many of our staff we'd laid off. As we entered 2017, we are back on track to become the healthcare system which our citizens can be proud, that provides timely and quality care to our citizens. I'd like to provide some examples of the progress. Total revenue collected from healthcare billings for the calendar year 2016 was $50,101,181, an increase of $9,233,777 over the previous calendar year. Outpatient clinic appointments increased at all sites for each quarter of the past year. The Yakima Hospital will be completed and opened this year. We restructured the construction financing to avoid high loan fees, rid us of the balloon payment, and reduced the overall construction costs. But we will still have a great hospital when it's open. The Eufaula Clinic, a joint venture project with the Indian Health Service, is under construction and will be completed in 2018. Over the next 20 years, the Indian Health Service will contribute at least $240 million for operational costs and 133 staff to better serve our citizens. I believe this is a great return for our $26 million construction investment. As we entered office last year, we began amidst many citizens' concerns of staff excessive spending, reporting to work late, and using tribal vehicles for personal gain. I want to assure you that we have addressed these issues. We have implemented a tribal-wide system in which all employees must scan in and out each day to record their time at work. We ended the practice of employees taking cars home and treating them as a personal vehicle. We established a central motor pool so staff can request vehicles for business use as necessary. With the approval and support of the National Council, we established a policy where all vehicles purchased by the nation are through the state fleet vehicle pricing program. These changes have allowed the nation to save thousands of dollars in vehicle purchases and management while being accountable. During the past year, we strengthened operational policies and improved workflow processes to better serve our citizens. We publicly reported more measurable program information in our quarterly reports than ever before. Through the tribe's even though the tribe's independent agencies are not under my authority, I have asked them to participate in the quarterly reports. We have made these reports available in print and also via online media, including our new updated tribal website, for everyone to see. Again, we will be compliant and accountable in all we do. My administration's priority is creating a culture of compliance for the executive branch of the nation and beyond. This year, we will establish a compliance working group made up of employees that will meet regularly to discuss compliance issues and questions and assist with the implementation of procedures aimed at preventing fraud, waste, and abuse. In establishing the working group, one of the primary goals is to encourage employees at all levels to play a meaningful role in the compliance process. In addition, we are developing an ethics program where every employee will receive annual training on acceptable conduct in the workplace. Already this month, more than 500 of our nation's employees have received ethics training. I was impressed at their enthusiasm and their willingness to become engaged in elevating our standards. We are in the process of updating the nation's Code of Ethics for all staff and will require annual certification of updated training. Finally, we will establish a process that would enable employees to anonymously report suspected unlawful or unethical conduct. We want an open workplace where employees are unafraid to raise concerns that they may have, as well as report suspected wrongdoing. We support our staff and want them to do the right thing every day. Speaking for the second chief and myself, it has been an honor and a privilege to serve as leaders of the Mvskoke Creek Nation. The first year of our administration has been challenging but rewarding. Long hours but positive outcomes. We are thankful for the enthusiasm of our staff and how they have demonstrated hard work in meeting the needs of our citizens. We will continue to give our best in all matters at all times. As I have said before, my hope is, united by a common bond, that we will strengthen each other by always remembering our past is the greatest teacher for our future. May each of you be blessed in your efforts to fulfill your duties to sustain our traditional values by always remembering the sacrifices of our ancestors and using that knowledge to ensure we have a brighter future for those in whose footsteps we follow. May God bless all of you. Mado.
And if you'd like to see the State of the Nation address again in its entirety, or see our version with the pre-show, post-show wrap-up where we break down the speech afterwards with myself and Jessica McBride, you can do that on our Mvskoke Media YouTube access there, or as I said, courtesy of Public Relations, who the feed that you saw here today was from the Office of Public Relations. That'll do it for us this week. Stay with us. Next week we'll have another great show. You all have a good one, and we'll see you next time.